Hi, I'm Michelle Spohr. Welcome to Mindful Movement Yoga. Today's class is all about building trust within ourselves, trusting ourselves. And then in terms of our postural practice, we'll focus on the thoracic region of the body. So the thoracic spine, building mobility there with the chest, opening up the chest, counteracting the slouch that we might encounter with sitting at a desk. And then upper back support as well. So I invite you today to bring your props along with you. You'll need at least a block and a yoga strap, and a blanket would be nice. So let's sit in a comfortable position. Legs are crossed or in any orientation that works for you. And then roll the shoulders a couple of times up, back, and down just to find a sense of softening there in the neck and shoulders. We'll spend about a minute here in silent sitting. So gently closing the eyes or just dropping your gaze. And begin to notice the breathing and start to cultivate breath in and out through the nose. And noticing the breath in the chest area. So as you inhale, noticing the lift of the collarbones and the comfortable exhale that follows. As you breathe in, noticing the rising of the chest, and on the exhale, as it drifts down. And then noticing your breath in the upper back. So as you inhale and exhale, just noticing perhaps the space in between the shoulder blades, back of the neck. Take a few breaths there, just noticing. And then noticing the space underneath the armpits, the side ribs. And as you inhale and exhale, noticing the gentle expansion, the comfortable retraction. And then direct your breath awareness to the throat. So noticing the breath as it passes on the back of the throat, as you take air in, release air out. And pressing the palms together, thumbs resting at the heart. Tipping the head downwards, bowing the head toward the heart. Blink the eyes open, lift the gaze, and release the hands. So we're going to start on our backs, but before you get there, go ahead and grab your blanket. We're going to do a pretty firm roll here. So if you have a blanket or even a bath towel, this will do. You want a rectangle shape, and then as you lay it down on the floor, making sure there's no wrinkles in it or excessive wrinkles, and then you'll do a pretty tight roll here. So begin to do that with your blanket. And what this will act as is our we're going to lie on this, so our little narrow bed, if you will. Your head, your back, and your pelvis will be on this blanket. If your blanket or towel is a little bit shorter, go ahead and just have your head and your upper back on the blanket and then your pelvis on the floor. So I'm going to have my head and pelvis both supported here. So come to a seat, either on the floor or on your blanket. Use your hands here to lower yourself back. And then tuck the tailbone under just a little bit, and then make sure that you're supported. Your head is on the blanket, your back is on the blanket. Feel free to widen your feet there if you feel like you're pretty wiggly wobbly. And then take the arms out to the side, either in this cactus shape position or arms extended out, gently relaxing by the sides. And so from here, allow the shoulder heads, the tops of the shoulders, to relax and drop down. So we're doing just a very gentle, mild chest stretch or chest opening here to begin with. Something that will support our posture and encourage quality breathing. So for the next few rounds of breath, just allow the shoulder heads to soften, maybe closing the eyes here. And noticing the tissues on the front of the upper chest. Noticing the collarbones area, base of the throat. And if you want to change positions with the arms, please do so at any point here. We'll stay here for about 3 to 5 more breaths. So starting out nice and comfortable. Connecting to ourselves here. Noticing how the body feels. And then from here, we're just slowly rolling off to the side. So hopefully your blanket isn't that high. You just come off to the side. And then we'll press on up back to a seat for a moment. So from here, you'll just move your blanket off to the side. And we'll take a block now and have your block on, you could start here on the medium height or the lowest height. Either way will do. I don't recommend the highest height, however. And then notice too, if your block is pretty hard, you can also place a blanket on top of it. So I'm going to stick with medium height. We'll come back to sitting in front of the block, facing away from the block, and then lift the chest a little bit and lower the region of your back. So upper middle back is what we're looking for. So for women, that's our bra strap line. And then slowly bring your hands behind your head or gently, and then intertwine the fingers. So from here, we're going to start to mobilize the spine. Hug in around the waist and draw the ribs in. So we're not doing an abdominal crunch. We're actually trying to contain the abdomen as we mobilize. So contain the abdomen, just draw in the belly, draw in the ribs. And then with your hands supporting your head, start to lift the chest and tip yourself back here. So I'm lifting my elbows, and then I'll come back to this center position. So let's try that again. Abdomen is in. We're not releasing here in the belly. We're just leaning back. You can inhale here and then exhale, come back to this midpoint. So continue moving along here, flexing and extending the spine of the upper back and knowing that it's not an abdominal crunch and we're not releasing here. We're keeping this tone so we can really bring attention to movement in the upper back. So try this a few more times. You may not feel like it's your biggest back bend, so to speak, and that's great. We're just looking to increase some hydration here, increase some range, and then we'll do 3 more. And last one here, containing the core and the ribs. And then finally, for some of you who love to do a little fish pose, go ahead and release the belly, release the abdomen, hang on to the head, and do a little bit of a back bend here over that block to your comfort level. And then slowly use your hands to help bring your head back to that neutral position and then come back up to a seat. So that is something that I highly encourage you to do a lot more. It really encourages a lot of mobility and opening in the chest. So from here, let's come onto our abdomen, so our bellies. So you can start on hands and knees and just walk your knees back, lowering down as you bend the elbows. And then we'll come into a half frog position. So my right leg is straight and my left knee is bent, and I'll stay here on my forearms. So for this one, we're pushing the floor away. It's a little bit active, protracting the shoulder blades. That means the shoulder blades are spreading apart. Draw the belly in here, and then the knee is bent, and this angle of your hip is wherever is comfortable. So the knee could be higher or a little bit lower. So staying here for a few breaths, draw the belly in, push the floor away, and then begin to let the belly hang and let the hips hang. And then we'll do that twice more. So push the floor away, protracting the shoulder blades, draw the belly in toward the spine, and then release all of that, perhaps even sinking the shoulders up toward the ears. And last time here, push away, draw the belly in, and then release and relax. Okay, from here, if you're comfortable, go ahead and take your right hand and sweep it under the left arm, coming into mild thread the needle, so to speak. And then allow your head, right side of your head, to rest on your left hand. And then coming into a lying on the back twist. So we'll start to open up our bodies, keeping the right leg straight, the left knee bent, and then maybe bringing the left arm up and over here. So left elbow can be bent or straight, and you'll get a little bit of a stretch here in the front of the left of the chest. So it's a side lying, or you can make it more of a supine lying on the back twist. And then let's come out of that the way we came in. So just rolling to the right side of your body, chest and abdomen facing the floor, coming back to hands and knees. And then we'll just simply switch sides. So straighten the left leg and now bend the right knee. So bend the right knee, the inner thigh, the inner shin is facing the floor. And then take a moment here to decide where that knee feels best for you. And then draw the belly in, rounding the spine a little bit, push the ground away, and then inhale, let the hips hang, pelvis is heavy, maybe opening the chest. Twice more, draw the belly in, push the floor away, and then release the spine, release the activity of the shoulders. And last time here, rounding perhaps a little bit more, and then softening, releasing, relaxing. Now take your left arm, doing that thread the needle variation if it works for you. Otherwise, you'll meet us in the twist. And start to bring the left arm, back of the arm to the floor, and then take the right hand and wrist and make that your pillow for a moment. It's a little bit of back of shoulder stretch. And then start to turn the body open toward the ceiling. So I'm opening up and then bringing my right arm out to the side. My right knee is still bent, and I'm doing a modified twist here. But you can make your twist any which way that is comfortable for you. Okay, a little bit of stretch here now in the right tissues of the chest, of the right chest. And then we'll come back to our bellies the way we came in. So rolling off to the side, and keep a bend in the right knee just for another moment here. And then start to draw back onto your knees and coming into a brief child's pose here. So bend the knees, lower the hips as much as you like. Extend the arms, head rests or perhaps rests on the fists. And then let's come into downward facing dog from here. So spread the fingers wide, tuck the toes under, draw the hips back, lift the knees up, and then tip the bottom of the pelvis toward the sky. I like to have a soft bend in my knees here, especially for my first down dog. Keeping the spine long. And then just notice if you can sense how your spine is doing. Is it rounded anywhere? Is your lower back rounded? Perhaps you have straight legs and the lower back is rounding, or the upper back is rounding. Just see if you can extend here that spine. So chest bone pulls forward as the hips draw back. One more breath here. And then bring the left leg forward, lower the right leg down. So this is where we will need our strap. So coming into a more upright low lunge, low meaning just the back knee is down, but we're not sinking forward for now. So have the shoulders over the hips and take your strap on its, maybe folding it once. And if you don't have a strap, a long towel will do. And go ahead and bring the strap in front of you. So I'm pulling apart here, a little bit of tension on the strap. So from here in this low lunge, inhale, lift the arms and draw the abdomen in, and then see how far back the hands can go before you have to bring more length into the strap. So either staying at a certain point or lowering the arms down behind you. And then inhale, bringing the arms up and back over to the starting position. Let's do that a few more times. So inhale, lift the strap up, and notice how the front of the chest feels, either stopping at a certain point or lowering down. And then stabilizing here with the legs. So feel free to start to turn on the legs by dragging the right heel back or the left heel back. And then we'll do this one more time. Inhale, lift and reach. And exhale, bring the arm back down. So lowering the strap, let's come into downward facing dog. Option to lift the left leg up and back in down dog. So here we go. Coming back to down dog, option to extend the left leg back. And pausing here. 2 more breaths, trying to keep the hips square, pulling the left hip downward toward the floor, the right hip back in space. And then lower the left leg down and bring the right foot forward and lower the left knee down. We'll do that same variation with the strap again, or with your blanket or miscellaneous dog leash. From here, shoulders over hips again. Draw the ribs in. Inhale, lift and reach the arms up, back and down. And then bring the hands back forward. So same thing. This time I'd like for you to integrate this movement here with the breath. So focusing on the breath, making sure we're not moving with pain here. And let's do this one more time. And go ahead and release the strap or your prop. And downward facing dog, option with the right leg lifting up and back. So here we go. Extending the spine again. If the right leg is lifted, pushing the heel into an invisible wall, squaring off the hips. And one more breath here. And lower the leg down. Let's walk to the top of the mat. Feel free to keep a nice bend in the knees here into a forward fold for a moment. And then start to have a soft bend in the knees so the spine can be long. Head hangs. And then we'll roll up to standing, so one vertebrae at a time. Concluding with the head. Inhale here. Sweep the arms up. Draw the ribs in and pull the hips back in space. Exhale, let's forward fold with a neutral spine here. Inhale, halfway up with the spine. So the spine is parallel with the ground, hands to shins. And bending the knees, step the right leg back into a low lunge. Grab your strap here. Inhale, lift, reach the arms up, maybe back. And exhale, bring the strap down off the mat, downward facing dog. Inhale, option, left leg lifts. And exhale, coming into plank. Holding plank for a moment. Inhale, you can be on the knees here in plank. And exhale, lower to the floor. Grab your strap here, uncurl the toes. Inhale, arms reach forward, hands pull apart. And reach the arms back or up and lift the chest. Take a breath here. Option to lift the thighs. And exhale, lowering everything down. Pushing yourself back into downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. And then bend the knees, look forward, jump, or step forward. Coming into that half forward fold again, drawing the ribs in, inhale here, exhale to fold. Inhale, grab your strap now, rise up to stand, reach the arms up, maybe back and down. And then exhale, arms come forward. Bend the knees and lower the strap. Inhale, lift and reach the arms again, pulling the hips back in space if they're drifting forward. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, back to Ardha Uttanasana, chest draws forward, spine is long. And then coming into low lunge, stepping the left leg back. So you can grab your strap here, inhale, push the floor away with the right foot, reach the arms up, open the chest, maybe bring the arms back, and exhale, bringing the strap off the mat. Here we go. So stepping the right leg back, option in down dog now to reach the right leg up, and then lower the right leg down. Let's come back to plank. Inhale in plank. Take a breath here, and then lower to the ground. Grabbing the strap again, or not if you want to ditch that. Inhale here. Hands to strap, hands pulling apart. Reach the chest up and draw your spine forward and up. Perhaps lifting the legs up here in Shalabhasana. And then exhale, bringing the arms forward, strap down. And let's come back into downward facing dog. And take a breath here in down dog. And then lower to hands and knees. So for our cat-cow, we're coming into a variation. So from hands and knees, knees under the hips, elbows under the shoulders, draw the ribs in, start to tuck the tailbone down, and then lift the lower back up, then lift the middle back up, upper back, and let the head hang. Starting with the tailbone, this time lift the tailbone, lower the abdomen, lower the belly, the ribs lower, the chest pulls forward, maybe the gaze is forward or up. And start to wave the spine here into flexion, one vertebrae at a time, starting with the tailbone each time, waving the spine into extension. And then feel free to slow this down, noticing every moment here of the spine articulating and moving. And trusting here that you have the capacity to notice this. You can actually notice which parts of the spine feel more like a chunk moving together and which parts of the spine feel like they are pretty mobile and they move independently. And we'll do this one more time here. I love this variation. It really helps me to notice the nuances of my spine. All right, coming back to center, and then we'll stand on our knees and our shins. So if you're on a hard surface, I highly recommend you have a blanket underneath your knees. You may also need 2 blocks for this next positioning. So extend, I'm going to mirror you. So extend your left leg out, toes point forward, trying to have the knee underneath the hip of the right side. And then inhale, open the arms, and then exhale, hinge at the hips, and bring your hands to the floor. So this is where you may need some blocks underneath the hands. So grounding the palms, or you can be up on fingertips here. Start to extend the spine a little bit, so lengthen the spine, but drawing the belly in. And then with the right hand, turn the chest and reach the right hand up. And then exhale, turn the chest toward your left, sweep the right arm under. So we're coming into a little bit of a rotation here with this Parigrasana, or gate latch pose legs. So left foot is pressing into the floor, spine is mobile, and everything is interconnected here. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift and reach. Exhale to rotate, and then come back to neutral for a moment. Take a breath and see how things shifted and changed for you in this orientation. Now extend the hips, have your shoulders over your hips, and then reach the arms out to the side again. Inhale here. Exhale, side bending off to the right. Feel free to reach the left arm up and over. Inhale, come back up with the torso, hands behind the head. Exhale, twist just the upper body off to the left. So let's repeat that. Back to center, inhale here. Exhale, side bending off to the right. Inhale, stacking the spine. Bring the hands behind the head. Exhale, twisting to the left. And one more like that. Inhale, And then exhale to side bend. Inhale, come back upright. And exhale, twisting. And then let's release that. So bringing the left leg in, standing on the shins for a moment, or sitting on the heels. Close the eyes. And notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. Notice how the left side of your body feels. And then reopen the eyes, coming back to standing on our knees and shins, and extending your right leg out this time. So right leg out, toes pointing forward, trying to keep the left knee under the hip. And then inhale, reach the arms wide again, open the chest, and then exhale, side bending off to the left here, maybe reaching the right arm up and over. On the inhale, we'll come back upright, bringing the hands behind the head. Exhale, twisting to the right here, just the upper chest, upper back, and torso rotating. Inhale, side bending again. And exhale, coming upright. Take a breath here, inhale, and exhale, rib cage rotates. Let's do that once or twice more. Side bending, coming back up, hands behind the head. Find your twist. And let's do one more here. And find your twist. And then release, coming back to sitting on the heels or sitting in a comfortable position this time. And take a moment here to drop the gaze or close the eyes. Notice how the right side of the body feels. From here, we're going to take eagle arms, and there's two variations. So find a comfortable seat. If sitting on the heels doesn't work for you, go ahead and sit cross-legged, perhaps on a blanket. Let's reach the arms forward, so just wrists in front of shoulders, and then cross your right arm over your left arm at the elbows. If that doesn't work, if it's more of a cross here at the forearms, just fine. If this is you, then go ahead and give yourself a hug here, just bending the elbows, wrapping the hands somewhere along the shoulders. And then you'll be rounding your spine here with the elbows bent. Otherwise, if the arms are crossed here a little bit more in the upper arm bones, start to bring the hands and forearms toward each other. So from here, I'm just going to sit off a little bit at an angle. No matter what position you're in, lift the elbows up. And if the hands are toward each other, start to move the hands away from your face. And then everyone here will round the spine and drop the elbows. And then inhale, we'll extend the spine and lift the elbows. So let's try that a few times here. Rounding, separating the shoulders, stretching in between the shoulder blades. Inhale, opening up. And let's do it one more time. Inhale. And then release the arms and take a moment there. So I like doing that kind of position, and I know we have a second side, but it's opening up our chest and then opening up, our upper back as we round and our chest as we lift. It's this dynamic introspection and awareness. So going inward, but also going outward. So I love that sort of vibe, if you will. So let's do second side. So arms reach forward. Find a similar position with the arms as you did for side one. From here, we'll round the spine, separate the shoulders, and drop the elbows toward our navel. And then inhale, lifting the elbows and open the spine. And let's do that twice more. Round, a little bit of introspection here. Inhale, opening up. And last time here. And release, coming back to your seat for a moment. Okay, so let's return to downward facing dog. And then stepping the right leg forward, ground the left heel down. So I'm not mirroring you this time, I'm actually using my right leg. And come back or come up into warrior two. So this is a big hip opener. It's fine if you're a little bit more upright here with the knee. The knee isn't as far bent. So your choice here. Spread the arms wide. Have the right toes pointing forward and the left toes pointing ahead or forward toward the right foot. From our warrior two, side bend off to your left and my left, and reach the right arm up and overhead or just straight up here. And then inhale, torso upright, hands behind the head. Turn and rotate the rib cage toward the front leg and forward fold over that front leg for a moment. Light touch with the hands. Inhale, stack the spine again, turn. Exhale, side bend. So it's a side flexion here. And then as we breathe in, hands behind the head, rotating. And then exhale, forward fold. So chest toward the floor. Inhale, coming back up. Rotate one more time. Inhale, side bend. And then exhale. It's a little bit of a twist with a forward fold. And let's come into downward facing dog. So feel free to transition however you'd like there. And step the left leg forward. Ground the right heel and foot down, coming into warrior two stance from here. So from warrior two stance, start to side bend now off to the right. And then inhale, hands behind the head as you stack your spine. Exhale, twist and fold. Inhale, upright, neutral spine, and then side bend. And breathe whatever way is comfortable for you. The legs are definitely stabilizing us here as we mobilize and move our spine and our upper body. Keep it nice and comfortable here as we build awareness. And last fold here. And let's make our way to downward facing dog. So we'll take side plank off to the right. So right hand comes more toward the center of our mat, turning, stacking our feet or crossing the left leg over. So I'm on my right side hand, the outer edge of my right foot, and then left leg can be up, stacked on top of the right leg, or crossed over here. So take a breath here. And then from this side plank version, we're just coming down to a seat. Right leg will extend out, and left foot, bottom of the left foot will come to the inside of the right leg. So this left leg is bent. So inhale here, lift the chest, and then exhale, walk the hands and rotate the chest off to the right. So right leg extended out, and then spine as long as we twist here. Inhale back to center. Exhale, side bend off to your left, perhaps the right arm up and over. Inhale here. Exhale, twist over to the right. Hands ground to the floor. Inhale back to center, grounding the left hand down. Exhale, side bend off to the left. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale here, sit tall. Exhale to rotate. Inhale here, in center. Exhale, side bend. And then forward fold somewhere along that right leg. So feel free to round the spine here and soften the eyes. Hands can be wherever it's comfortable. They could be stacked here on the leg, on the outsides of the leg, on the floor, on the foot. If you're especially bendy and you have that range, you can bring your wrists in front of the leg there, in front of the foot. And one more breath. And then returning to side plank, any which way. So however you'd like your legs. I'm going to stack my feet here. Inhale. And then exhale, turn to plank and downward facing dog. And let's repeat that on the second side. So I'm just turning around so we can see each other. Let's come into side plank now on our left side. So left hand somewhere toward the center of the mat. stacking the feet and or draping the right leg on top. Take a breath in and out here, and then slowly lower yourself down. Let's come to a seat with the left leg extended out and the right knee bent, bottom of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Take a breath. Sitting tall here, start to turn and rotate the ribs and the chest and the shoulders off to the left, grounding the hands. You can just hold on to the leg here if you'd like, and then come back to center. Inhale, grounding the right hand, side bend off to the right. Twice more. Inhale and exhale to rotate. Inhale, back center, and exhale, side bend. One more. Inhale, upright, and exhale, revolve. Inhale, back to center, and exhale, side bend. And then come back up and forward fold. Long spine at first, and then feel free to round and let the head relax. Start to slow the breath down a little bit more here in our forward fold. We're not here for very long. 2 more breaths. And then come upright to a tall seat and cross the legs. So from here, we're going to come into a supported back bend. And this will conclude our practice here, this supported back bend. So with a blanket that's pretty long, you're going to make a very small roll. So we're not going to have this huge roll underneath us. So for this particular back bend, maybe 1 or 2 rolls here for my blanket. That might be 1 or 2 inches for your blanket. And bring the blanket onto the mat. So this roll right here now will be where the position of the block was earlier. Will just not be so high off the ground. So tips of the shoulder blades on the blanket, and then the head can be on the other end of the blanket. So we'll turn facing away from the roll and start to lower ourselves down. And then bringing the head toward the floor, start to reposition as you need to. And once you find that spot, have the legs soft. So the knees could be bent, the feet could be wide, the knees could be bent and knocked together, or the legs could be straight and extended out. The arms are relaxed, so whatever position works for your arms, but trying to get a sense of having the palms up here. So it's more opening from the chest down through the inner arm to the hands. And then either softening the gaze or closing the eyes. Bring your awareness to the sternum, so the chest bone. And notice this area of the body as we lie in this supported back bend, how it's open and it's exposed. So as we back bend here, even in this passive softening type of posture, there is a sense of trust here. We're trusting ourselves to remain still for a few moments. We're trusting ourselves, and our bodies are trusting us to find a posture that works for the body, that doesn't cause it pain or harm. Our body is trusting us to offer it nourishing practices, challenges from time to time, movement that works for itself. And we're relying on our bodies. We're trusting our bodies to support us, to help us survive, to help us extend care, even love for others. and in turn extending care and love for ourselves. So for the next few moments, just allowing the body to soften. Feeling the support of the body on the floor. Feeling the breath inside of us. And feeling the potential for breath all around our bodies. So the air on our skin, perhaps being part of our next breath. And then either staying in this blanket roll, or I invite you just to quietly, softly lift up and unroll the blanket and lie flat on the floor. We'll have about one more moment here, lying in Shavasana. Trusting that we have this moment here to find stillness and nourishment for not only our bodies, but our states of mind, our emotions, our spirits. And welcoming now a full breath in, opening up the palms, maybe reaching the arms overhead, and then exhale, drawing the knees in toward the chest, one at a time. And then roll to the side of the body, pausing here for a moment, and slowly pressing up to a seat. So we'll meet in a seat now. Go ahead and reclose the eyes. And with the hands resting on the lap, turning the palms up. Having this posture here of receptivity, receiving, knowing that we have all that we need to live in this moment, to experience what it means to be alive for us, for you today. So let's press our palms together, bowing the head toward heart, and then rub the palms together, creating heat in between the palms, and then cupping the warm palms over the eyes. And then slowly open the eyes, looking into your hands for a moment. And then draw the hands away from your face. And thank you for joining me. Thank you. I hope this practice today helped your upper back and your chest, feeling a sense of opening and mobility, and better yet, building that sense of trust that we all need within ourselves. Thank you again. I will see you soon.